All right. Hey, welcome in, everybody. Um, welcome to the Great American Experience, otherwise known as the game. Thank you for joining us. I'm the Wizard of Oz, and this is not my show, but this is your show. So grab a link, come on up on the panel, let's start talking. How you doing, Zoom? How's it going? I'm getting through it. I'm getting through it. It'll be okay. No, not all good, but still talking myself out of doing things that would, yeah, be detrimental. But yeah, you cleaned the backyard. Good job. Good job. Good job. I imagine we'll start getting people coming in here real quick. It was tanking, ranking, huh? Raking. Oh, raking up leaves. Ah, there you go. Yeah. With it being Sunday, it was nice outside today. Got up in the mid 60s, but I didn't do too much. I got all the animals taken care of and did some cleanup stuff around here and there. Tomorrow I'll get some more stuff done. Got to go to town and pick up feed for the animals and fill up the gas cans and get another can of kerosene filled up, restock food and cigarettes and stuff like that. Yep. I can't. Yeah, the feed store's not open on Monday or Sundays, so I have to do it on Monday. So I'll just go do all my supplies and restocking up. Hey, Sing, what's happening, brother? Come on up. Sing's already offering up crayons. What's up, Valentine? How you doing? Why does the screen look like that? Oh, because it's just me, so it does it full screen, and I can't do a picture thingy. Now, somebody else comes up here, joins me, then we can see the background. See, if I do, then yeah, but I can't say hi or anything. Yeah, I'm getting through this stuff, man. I just need somebody to talk to, and so I can get some of the stuff off my mind. Been talking myself out of doing terrible things to certain people all most of the day. Oh, but yeah, it was a beautiful day today. Upper 60s, clear skies, slight breeze, plenty of sun. It was beautiful. It was a gorgeous day. Oh yeah, a good deal. Good deal. Nice and warm. Hey, what's up, Bill?
All right, how you doing?
Hanging in there, bro. Hanging in there.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you've been seeing it, but Biden, well, every country, including Holland, has got signs that say "Let's go, Brandon."
Oh wow.
Huge anti-vax protests and everything, and uh, there's this one channel he keeps uploading these little short videos of all these things. And I'm telling you, they're like massive protests all over Europe and everywhere against the vax mandates. And in the crowds, there's always a "Let's go, Brandon" sign. It is funny. It's wow, wow. That's all I can say.
Huckleberry, I guess he shut it down before I was able to get on. Yeah, Huckleberry was asking where did Apex go. I was like, I don't know. I came over here to get on the show, and there wasn't one started up. I know he was on a little bit ago, so he just shut it down.
Yeah, I saw him earlier, but I had some stuff I had to do. Come back, and the whole thing shut down.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was just like, and then all of a sudden I got a notification that you came on. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know I'm a little bit late, but I figured, I could get some shit done before I came on stream. So. But he had shut it down.
yeah, New York was having protests. There was a lot of protesting going on against this vax mandate, against the vaccines in general.
Right.
Uh, I didn't realize that it wasn't just the U.S., but the Europeans, even Australians. It was a huge one in Australia. I mean, it looked like millions of people.
I wouldn't doubt it. They're really coming down on people.
It was in Victoria, Australia.
Right, right.
That was today. I saw that, and then I see the Netherlands, and Netherlands didn't look as massive as the Australian one. But the Aussies, they need to come out in huge numbers, or they'll get their asses beat.
Yeah.
They have to come out in the big numbers, but we have to fight. We have to fight, and I guess they put a stop on the mandates by because it was unconstitutional. There's a little bit more information about it today.
Yeah, well, they don't have any choice but to fight because they're actually being. It's like they're the precursor to everything else.
Well, they're being locked into their homes.
Right.
I mean, what else can we do? And it's summertime there.
I heard
Well,
they're taking if they don't let. I'm heard if they're not letting their kids go to school, like they're going to homeschool them or something, the kids are being taken away from them.
yeah, Yeah, I saw that. I saw them police surrounding this woman. She was in a commune, and they were going to take her baby from her. And she's like crying, and nobody coming to help her. Where are the men?
Right.
Where's that at?
Australia,
Oh,
trying to strip this woman's baby from her because she refused to get vaccinated. They were going to deprive her of her child.
I've talked to a lot of people from like the UK, or a lot of women from like the UK and Australia and stuff like that. And a lot of them like American guys, especially American rural guys, because they say that they they don't have enough manliness in their men over there. I think it's kind of funny. Hey,
I don't know if that's the case in Australia, though. I don't think Australian men are cucks. I really don't.
no, they aren't. They're actually, these are mostly city women. Now, Australia dudes are a lot like here. Our city guys are kind of, like you say, cucks, but a lot of the rural guys, they're more of the alpha type.
So is Australian.
Exactly. Yeah,
Australian,
that's what I said.
they're
Yeah.
pretty awesome. Yep.
And I've met some. I guess they're more outbackish Australians, and they're every bit as alpha as rural guys are here.
It's just there's just something, they let so many of their freedoms go when they let their guns go.
Now in England, the dudes I've met from England, they're kind of the
Limp wristed.
Yeah,
Very effeminate.
yeah. I mean, I know they're not all like that. There's a lot of tough dudes over there, but the ones, well, I met two of them, and they're both from London, and then visiting a cousin of mine over here because he went over there a long time ago during his college and spent like a semester or something over one of their college. Met him, and they came over to visit him. And those two dudes, I don't know if it's just Londoners or what, but those two dudes were very, yeah, like you said, made you wonder.
Well, I mean, the British special forces are probably the toughest or some of the toughest in the entire world. The
And-
SAS, they have some tough hombres over there in UK.
But you look at it, most of those guys are they're not like the suburban types. They are either inner city or they are rural.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just
I
like
don't-
here.
I don't know. They're used. I mean, punk rockers. They used to get in big fights and stuff at their football games and everything. And there was mosh pits and everything. Kind of started in the UK, I think.
I think it's probably like anything else. The news portrays them as one thing, but it's just like here in the States. The dynamics are different depending on where you're at. Because from what I understand in the UK, and this is like talking straight with my friend's fiance, is they are in the north, especially the northern part of UK. They're more of the alpha type Englanders.
like the Scots.
Yeah, well, the northern Britain and
That's Scotland.
but I mean before you get to the Scotland border, I'm talking like Liverpool and stuff. Yeah,
I know, like Lancashire and Devonshire and all that. Yeah.
yeah, they're kind of more like the Irish. Now the Irish, from what I understand, are pretty alpha.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. No, I don't know. I don't know about that. I've seen some indicators that say otherwise, but
okay. Well,
there's no. I don't know. Let's not label anybody because we can't really. Yeah, I mean, I can't. I don't even know how to determine any of that stuff. I've not looked at any studies or anything like that. I know the Irish got a whole lot of fight in them, and I know they don't play, but I don't know.
And that's why I said I think it depends on where they're from, because it seems
It's their politics.
and
No,
huh?
they've got an iron grip on the people. The politicians have an iron grip on the people. They didn't realize what was happening when all their freedoms were slipping away and they got their guns confiscated and everything else. They turned in their guns voluntarily, and then they started confiscating them, and now they're outlawing knives and everything else there because they just let it go like that. And that wasn't really, I don't think that was anything to do with the royal family or any of that. It was the parliament and these creeps that creeped into the parliament in the UK. Yeah, that's how it all happened. That's how it's happening here.
England actually never did have the right to bear arms, though. The people could never, even back in the day, a lot of commoners, they could get in trouble for owning a sword, if they weren't a knight or weren't in the military.
I beg to differ because I remember when the gun grab happened. Yeah, and in fact, a lot of the innovations in firearms came from England.
Military fighting. Yeah, and a lot of that. Well, and that's where the hypocrisy comes in, is because a lot of the countries, just like Germany, they can't own guns, but they saw a crud load of guns here.
Oh, Germans can own guns, can't they, Wiz?
Yeah, they can own.
They still can own guns.
Yes. Yeah. I could actually buy and sell guns, but I had to keep them at a gun club. I had to keep the guns at a gun club in Germany, and you can't have them in your possession. You can have them in your house if they're in a safe and so on, and they can't be loaded and blah blah blah, But Germans, they have guns. They love them. They love them. At least when I was there, and Wiz was there later than me.
Yeah. In fact, I bought a weapon from a garage sale over there.
The best guns come from Germany.
Okay, okay. You are right on one aspect. In 1997, they weren't allowed to even own hunting rifles anymore, like even inherited. But they were never allowed to own like semi-autos and stuff like that.
Huh.
Well, I remember when the confiscations happened.
Yeah, and that must have been in 97 with the hunting rifles and stuff. And at one time they could own pistols, but it couldn't be like a semi-automatic pistol.
No, they were.
Yeah, they were looters and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, this is misisuk.org.
They brought them home from World War II.
Yeah.
Your average Brit had all kinds of guns that they had collected off the battlefield, and they brought them home from World War II. Those
were military guys, though, right?
No, it was anybody. Awesome. But they didn't have to register them or anything. None of that was going on. They didn't have to tell anybody what they had.
Is Mises UK through the ministry? It's a ministry. It's stating different.
Well, we're talking about Germany now too. So,
well, Germany, I just assumed Germany. I'm not aware of, but the UK is what I'm reading on.
The UK soldiers that came home from the army brought home German guns with them.
I don't deny that. I just know that under their under their own constitutional rights, they were never really afforded anything similar to the Second Amendment.
No, they don't have a Second Amendment. They didn't have one.
Maybe nothing similar.
Maybe they felt like they didn't need one.
It might be.
I don't know.
Here, even during King James II, and this is in the 1689, so this would have been musket eras, that commoners were not allowed to own them. It was actually until after King James II that they were even allowed to own hunting rifles and such.
I'm sure that didn't stop most of them, though.
Oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of them owned them, and the confiscations I don't doubt happen, because just like if they try to say, okay, well they'll allow us to own single shots, that's only going to last a certain amount of time.
Well, that has a lot to do with why a lot of our ancestors came here from there. I don't want to live in a country that's got courts with people with powdered wigs. Yes, they still have powdered wigs.
Now,
France, then there's Don. What's up, Don?
Hey, Don.
Is this thing on?
That's on. Like Donkey Kong.
So, a couple of things. I didn't want to interrupt your, discussion on why the British subjects can't or don't own guns. I got questions around why you're having that discussion, but I didn't want to interrupt it.
Yeah.
Just an interesting discussion.
Second,
grow a set of
why are
balls
we
and
not
come on.
talking about? Why are we not talking about the? Oh, second, more importantly, I'm glad the adults are finally on the fucking channel. And third, why are we not talking about the Fifth Circuit's striking down Biden's mandates?
We already did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I missed that part. I'm sorry. Fuck.
Yeah,
Actually,
like a bad dog.
Some of us talked about that on Aaron's too.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It goes
actual commentary going on over at Aaron's. I'm okay.
We toss it in occasionally.
Okay.
So what's well, my question is like, what effect is that going to have on the White House, or are they even going to pay attention to it, or what? I mean, there's no law, there's no executive order, even there's just these dictates coming out of his mouth.
I think he'll still try to do those.
There was the Fed. It's like Singh said last night. They did actually process or promulgate a fucking a Federal Register regulation.
Yeah.
And it was on the basis of that regulation that the Fifth Circuit and 23 states,
yes,
including Texas, told Biden to go fuck himself. And the Fifth Circuit said, nope, sorry, not going to. There's too many constitutional issues here, but no, that's not going to go into effect.
And actually, the OSHA thing was specifically stated in it too, that they cannot overstep their bounds like that. The federal organizations. I think that's awesome.
That's another thing that's going to be, but they'll OSHA doesn't have that ability. They just don't.
No, they're gonna. The Biden administration is going to try everything, though, to throw it at it like that. And I think the Fifth Circuit is awesome because now it goes straight to the Supreme Court after this.
Yep.
Now cross your fingers, Barrett.
Hold on. I wish that I would have been the guy in the background saying, does anybody know that this is no way in fuck ever going to hit the fucking streets? Does everybody know that there is no way that this has the power of law? Does everybody know that 23 states are battling this in the federal courts? I wish I'd been the guy standing in the background saying, oh, I was that guy. I'm sorry. What was I thinking?
Right.
No, none of us had any declaration that, it's going to happen. It was filed, and they had done that, and it proved the nefarious acts of this administration, I think is what we were stating.
I think also it was more than 23 states. I think on Thursday it was 23, and it went up to 26, and they were soon to get 30 states filing suit.
Yeah, they're expecting 30, I think, total.
I didn't know that we made it to 30. That's even more awesome.
I don't
know if we did. I know they're expecting it.
We were on the verge of going to 30 because there was
here's the question I have to ask myself then. With all of this obviously obvious in obvious world, is Joe smarter than we think he is? And did Joe already know when he put the fucking when he put forth the mandate, did he know for a fact that this was no way in hell going to make it? But he put forth the mandate anyway, excuse me, to satisfy his left wing,
Make the far
hardcore
left
left wing
happy.
base. Yeah. Is it possible that he knew that it would never see the light of day, but he went ahead and did it anyway to make his left wing brethren happy? The fuck is that?
That was Bill getting a phone call.
Oh, okay. No, I actually agree. Did you watch? Do you watch Much Louder with Crowder? He actually brought that up on a thing today.
I do, but I didn't. I haven't recently, but yes.
I think it was Crowder. It might have been Waters. Crap, I get those two confused.
One's a comedian, the other's an actual journalist. How could you possibly get that confused?
They both got dark hair and look alike.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
All you white people look alike.
All you white people look alike to me. That's fine.
Oh, geez.
See, I'm like ultra white, so you regular white people just, yeah. I'm like the glow in the dark type. Yeah, I get sunburnt in the moonlight. I blind people with my legs.
Oh, well, I didn't tell you that I'm actually of Korean descent, African American Korean descent. So
nice. What, on your mother's side or father's side?
On my mother's side, exactly. My father is full-blown Mongolian.
Nice.
You mongrel.
Oh yeah.
Okay, was on a different note.
Okay.
I finally found out what kind of rabbits Mama has. New Zealand.
Yep, the New Zealand rabbits. They're good ones, yep.
And they're mainly raised for the meat.
Right.
Them are the rabbits Mommy has. Some guy came down and looked at some of the rabbits today because Mom has signs up to sell them. And she's selling them at like $5 a rabbit.
Oh, wow. That's real cheap.
Yeah. And when he said that they was New Zealand rabbits and that they're the ones that they use for good meat, Mom says, and what do they usually go for? And he says, well, them little ones right there is usually anywhere between $5 to $20.
Yeah.
She says, and I shouldn't have no problem getting rid of them, selling them at $5 a piece, then should I?
No, they'll go pretty quick.
She says, now that I know what to advertise, that they're New Zealand rabbits.
Right. They got darker ears than the rest of their body. Usually.
Well, yeah. And I thought that, Mama's was pretty little. Well, I found out why, because when she bred them, that's the first time they've been bred and everything. They ain't old, they're real young.
Oh, right. Now she's just selling the babies, right?
Well, yeah, because she got 3 females and 1 male, but it was still their first breeding time when she got them and bred them.
Right.
So, yeah. So they should end up, when they get bigger, they should be about like your rabbits, maybe not quite as big, but.
Right.
So, yeah.
This is gonna drive Dawn nuts, but I'm learning something new. I did not realize that the French were so heartfelt about their freedom to bear arms. Actually, they were before the American Revolution. They actually already were instilling the right to bear arms for the public. But then after they joined the EU, it became a question. Well, here, it was less important than the question of who had the right to bear arms after they joined the EU. And that's just
So
see, now I
why
find
does
that stuff intriguing.
why does that drive Don nuts? Why do you lead with, well, this is going to drive Don nuts? But
Because when you said you had questions about why we're even discussing another country's right to bear arms.
well, yeah, I missed the lead in
It-
on the UK thing there. So
Oh,
yeah, but I mean, apparently there are I'm reading an argument from the left, but apparently there are 3 countries with the right to bear arms embedded in their constitution: the United States, Mexico, and Guatemala. Did not know that.
oh, well, Mexico's confusing because with that whole Fast and Furious thing, that's what got them so
That was an
upset.
ATF thing, and that we fucked that up. Yeah, that Fast and
Yeah,
Furious
yeah,
thing
that was on our government that did that. But at the same time, it put a lot of weapons down there that were illegal down there, like semi-automatics and stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, you don't want another country flooding guns into your country, no matter how liberal you are with your arms.
No,
I mean, come
I
on.
completely agree. But some of those
Okay.
guns, some of those types of guns were illegal themselves, certain semi-automatics. So it's not as well, anymore. America's not as free reaching with the rights of bear arms either. So never mind. But that is cool. I did not know that. That
Well,
Mexico and Guatemala.
as much as I hate the French, it is the French that are the. I mean, 200 years ago, 250 years ago, 300 years ago, they were the leaders in individual liberty.
Oh yeah.
The
After
word
they
liberty
destroyed them.
is French. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they helped us achieve our liberty.
If it weren't for the French Navy, we probably would not have.
So
we would not have
the
been
French historically are very, very adamantly free, and liberté is what they call it. So,
well, look at during our. My bad. Go ahead.
So that for that, I applaud the French, but there's some spineless, left-leaning, fucking surrendering libtards now. Just my humble opinion.
The general population, though, I think it's still that fight for freedom type. You even look at during World War II. Look at the amount of regular citizens that picked up arms. The politicians put down their arms; they surrendered to the Nazis. But look at the French underground. How many citizens? I mean, put their lives on the line to, sneak information to fight against them. They were totally outnumbered.
Yep. And it's that thing that unites us.
Yes.
The French and the U.S. But there's still a bunch of left-leaning libtards, if you ask me.
Their government is screwed up but ours right now is.
It is just like ours right now. There needs to be the purge.
Yeah.
There needs to be the wokeness. It's coming.
And it needs to go deep, way deeper than Trump did it the first time. If Trump gets back in there, he needs to go through all the 3 letters, he needs to just clean house on people.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Yep.
You're fired. You're fired. Not only are you fired, but your entire staff is fired. And you, not only are you fired, but you're going to jail. Anyway.
Yep. To be honest, and most of those say everybody need reapply and go through everything again. Keep the good ones then. The bad ones, or the ones that aren't even bad, they're just not doing their job, which would make them bad, but get rid of them.
And so I just wanted to jump up. The only thing I wanted to say tonight was that Fifth Circuit thing, where the Biden mandate is struck down and, ding dong, the witch is dead.
I got a question for you, Don. What's your opinion on Barrett in the Supreme Court sticking to the guns on some of this stuff?
sticking to the guns on some of the stuff. So I'm glad
Sticking
you
to her
asked that.
so-called conservative nature because she's
There you
questionable
go.
in my
There you
opinion.
go. So let me answer that with another question. Just recently, there were arguments made in front of the in front of the Supreme Court. It was something New York State against New York State, having to do with their shall issue versus must issue. The long and the short of it is, Barrett's questioning, in my humble opinion, seemed quite adamantly pro Second Amendment. And was quite, let me see, aggressive against the New York State attorney uh, that was presenting the New York State's case. So, to answer your question, I think she's going to be on point, particularly when it comes to Second Amendment issues that are currently getting in front of her. So, but that's just my humble opinion.
Oh, I truly hope so. I know a lot of people like on the media, whatever, like on Fox, some of the, but I think, don't get me wrong, I think 98% of Fox is corrupt also. And I don't trust them. I like Tucker.
Yeah. The more my opinion flows against that which is generally accepted on Fox, the more I tend to wear that opinion as a badge of honor, particularly when I can articulate a good argument with it, like the Barrett one, for instance. So yeah, I'm good with that. I'm
So
okay
you
being
like
different from them.
it.
I like her.
Opposed for Fox. I got you. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, generally when I'm opposed nowadays, when Fox and my opinions are different, I'm happy with that. That kind of tells me I'm right.
Yeah.
Right.
And see, Fox has been questioning Kavanaugh, but I think Kavanaugh has been stand up on some of his rulings and stuff. And in the district he was giving, where Barrett refused to rule, because remember when it was kind of split up and they were kind of each given an area or whatever to kind of
Well, I'm not a
magistrate over the
court follower.
circuit court.
Let me be clear about that. I'm not a court follower unless there are things that are interesting to me that are in front of the court. And I believe that this recent Second Amendment, New York State versus everybody else, um, I believe that the uh, I believe that the conservative majority of the court will stand with the Second Amendment, and their questioning does. Let me see. Their line of questioning is so diametrically opposed to the left's line of questioning. For instance, Sotomayor, my whoever, um, is so fucking left leaning, so liberal, so obviously biased that it's real easy to watch the Kavanaughs of the world have a balanced approach to this. So just look at the questioning. Just look at the line of questioning. I mean, but again, I'm not a court person here. I don't know a dick about it. Hey, Nightingale, how you doing?
Hi, Nightingale. I will say that I think Gorsuch is a good replacement for Scalia. I think they align on so many things in Gorsuch. I
don't think Gorsuch is a hard enough ass to. I don't think any of the three recent fucking Republican add-ons, even together, are a hard enough ass to cover Scalia. Scalia was a fucking hard nut, right wing, good conservative,
Letter of the law kind of constitutional.
yeah.
See, that's
so
how
none
I
of
see
those are even up to his post.
I see Gorsuch as the common sense by the law, and will even go against his other conservative fellow judges at times, and has when they go along with a ruling, if he disagrees with it, if they go along with a ruling on the liberal side, if he disagrees with it, he'll stand with what's the African American guy, judge's name? Oh, what's his name? Doggone it. I usually remember sitting
Thomas.
with the yes, Thomas, thank you. He stands with him a lot on it. And I don't know. I think he's a stand-up guy. But yeah, I do agree we'll never have another Scalia.
Okay. Free healthcare, baby.
Did Zach throw that in again?
Of course.
Yep. I still will say, and I won't back down from it. I mean, of course, the free healthcare thing has become a joke, but I don't. But I do believe we need to start having a discussion on rebuilding our healthcare, and no, not under a national program, but we need to start figuring out how to get it fixed with the prices and everything, how it is. Get it back to where a person can get $85 a month insurance.
You know, all you got to do is enable and recognize nutraceuticals and natural medicines. That's it. And get rid of these state line bullshit lines of restrictions between states.
I think
Trump had
that
it right.
The state.
Yeah, Trump had it right.
I tend to avoid all you got to do is arguments.
Right. Well, you know.
There's a lot of all you got to do is on healthcare, and it's at a lot of different levels, and it's taken the federal government and corporate America years to fuck this up. So if you think that you're going to walk in 6 months or whatever and unfuck this, well, you've got another thing coming. They've employed incredibly smart people on how that they can embed themselves and their cash flow in this system over these many years.
It took Trump 4 years to even affect it. So that's how sunk in there. The most powerful man in the world took him 4 years to even start affecting it and start forcing some of the prices down. So I agree. They're so embedded in everything and have so much control.
If you're gonna change healthcare, you're gonna change Medicaid, Medicare, VA. You're gonna change every fucking insurance company on the planet and how every insurance company is paid for. Every health insurance, every company, every municipality on the planet, literally, will be affected by this.
This is why we need to have the discussion and get the discussion going, because if you change anything that has to do with public life and what the comfort level is, if you change anything overnight, it's going to be disastrous. It's got to be a slow thing, and to keep that conversation going keeps that slow change and a steady change, hopefully for the better. Oh, welcome back, Bill.
Yeah, I had a call come in. My bad. I should have put it on Do Not Disturb before I came on the stream.
It's all good. Welcome back. And welcome in, Nightingale.
So hopefully the Do Not Disturb button works.
Works, right?
Yeah, sometimes I get, especially on a Sunday night, I get family trying to get a hold of me at night.
Oh, yeah. I got a hold of all my kids today.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're all home at night. They're in church all day, and, they're home at night, and people call me and stuff. Sister, daughter, mom, everybody.
This new time change is going to screw with me. I can already tell. I'm feeling tired, and it's 9:20.
That's what I consider Sunday to be, God and family.
Yeah, yeah, it's like that. Yep.
So
I kind of try to do most of my stuff on Sunday and not on Saturday. Saturday, I try to do fun stuff.
I still make time for fire in the motherfucking bowl.
Oh, dude, I had cherry pie. I thought you were going to say it was time for pie.
Not yet. That's after the hour. It's 10:20 right now, so it's time for fire in the bowl.
Brought to you by
Sausage Gravy Biscuit Farms.
.com.
.com.
Don.
And in those great words from the great canoes to the moon, .motherfucking com.
Where is the great canoes? The big guy between the. Is he with us tonight, or is that actually him in chat, or is that somebody else?
That's command chat. Yeah. Yeah. No, Canoes isn't here tonight yet. I haven't seen him today.
And by the way, hi Kim.
Accepting the award for Canoes to the Moon will be Wizard of Oz.
I didn't say hi to Kim. Hi, Kim.
Hello.
Hi, Kim.
Did the time actually change today?
Yep.
Last night. Yeah.
It just automatically happens on your phone and the computers.
Yeah, it did on the computer, but I ain't really had my phone on all day today. I mean, it's been on, but I ain't been paying attention to it.
Right. It changed about 2:00 in the morning this morning.
I didn't even realize that. I was sitting here at the computer until really late. I guess we're early this morning.
Yep. Now it's going to get dark at 4:30 instead of 5:30.
I wish they would get rid of that darn time change and go back to just keeping it steady.
What's up, Doggo?
Who?
My
dog. Bill has his dog going.
I'm.
Hey, Huck, how you doing? Gotta say hey to hi, howdy hody, hey Huck to Huck.
The Huckleberry. What's up?
Hi, Huckleberry.
Special wizard powers. Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my loudmouth dog. She is loud. She sounds twice as big as what she really is when you hear her. Yeah.
You all get nice hellos from Huckleberry. I don't want to repeat the hello I got.
Right. Oh man. Oh, it's like in the upper 60s today, and it's going to get up in the lower 70s tomorrow.
We hit 73.
Oh wow! Yep, that's it. That'll be us tomorrow.
Nice. I think we'll hit around the 70 mark for the next 2 days, and then Wednesday, poof, it gets cold again.
But isn't that cool that all those states were suing to block that freaking bill? I mean, I'm kind of amazed.
You mean the mandate?
Yeah, it stepped up. Yeah, I'm proud of them.
Hats off to those states.
Yep, exactly.
If y'all live in one of those states, be darn proud.
I also that 1.3 trillion infrastructure bill. Okay, there were 16 Republicans. Keep that in mind that voted in favor of it. Keep that in mind. 16 freaking Republicans.
Oh, and they
need
went off,
to
and
be
the
exposed.
GOP listed them too. Yeah, they exposed them. They listed them. They
Oh,
gave their pictures up on Fox.
Oh yeah, they had a full
Here are the
screen.
16 motherfuckers you should put a goddamn cross or a crosshair on.
Yep.
Yep, they just signed their
Primary everyone.
session.
So here's my question. Why was not the Fifth Circuit decision more widely discussed on Fox Business, on OANN, on
Fox
the
is as much of that swampy mess as the rest of them, in my opinion. Most of Fox is.
I discovered it on CNN. How the fuck is that?
Right.
Well, first you got to ask what the fuck am I doing up reading CNN? But
I'm sure Dan Bongino, if you got on Rumble, he probably had a lot to say about it. Judge Janine
Fox has got nothing. Fox has not got a single article about it.
Hannity might say something about it. I don't know.
I've not seen anything about it today.
Nothing.
I don't watch Fox, so I wouldn't know. I stopped watching Fox a long time ago when everybody got cucked.
Tomorrow, like Tucker and Hannity and Ingram and some of those will be back on, so maybe they'll bring it up. But really, the only one I like much anymore is Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you heard it here first.
Right.
Did I miss the 20 minute?
There's nothing.
Did I miss the 420? Did we call an official fire in the bowl 7 minutes ago? I missed it.
Yes.
Holy fuck.
I can't believe that.
Dude, you did a dawn on it even.
Yeah, you did that dawn.
See, that's what happens when you get stoned. This is
right?
why you should not do drugs.
We'll do another fire in the bowl. That's what you just ain't had enough. That's all.
Okay.
So apparently, Joe Rogan has more listeners than all those news stations together.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's why CNN went on kind of like a week-long tirade of trying to destroy him. And that was a mistake because all his followers, they had to shut off the comments again because all of his followers were going there just ripping them to pieces, doing dislikes and stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's funny shit. I love
it. I think it started with the ivermectin because he was given ivermectin. He brought it up on his show and they went off on him about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they just watched their viewership dwindle a little bit more.
Actually,
they got hammered.
Actually, when people found out through that, the properties of ivermectin, because they didn't know it before, ivermectin sales went through the roof. They can't even freaking keep it in any stores. And it was right after Joe Rogan went on about it.
Yep.
And ivermectin was created for human consumption for malaria and similar diseases.
Right.
It was used for cattle and stuff later, and horses. It was used for them later in higher doses for lung restrictions.
But it's flying off the shelf at the Tractor Supply.
Which kind of makes me wonder why an anti-parasite medicine is working on stuff like that. Are those supposed germs? Are they actually parasites? I'm thinking, yeah, they're a
In a way,
microscopic parasitical organism.
yeah, I was gonna say in a way it's kind of one and the same, right?
You would think.
They have those little spikes on them. It's a spike protein.
Yep,
And
yes, protein.
when you look at a non at a microorganism that is a parasite like these worms, they have that mouth with all those teeth in a circle like that, and it's kind of making sense now. It's kind of coming clear. Maybe these things are parasites.
Now it makes me nervous with hearing that it's flying off the shelves of Tractor Supply and stuff, because that stuff, the stuff for horses and cattle, is super high doses.
It's body weight required. I mean, I got the horse stuff for my dogs because it's a bigger tube and it's about the same damn price. And so I bought the horse stuff, and it's just a matter of, well, because
you got
the ones for the dogs, they want to dose you down to like 20, 30 pound dogs. And I've got 150 pound dogs. So I was like, I just bought the horse one and I dose it up for the dogs and give them every 6 months or so. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, I get stuff from the pet supply for other animals for my dogs too, when it's the same thing and just down the dose. I just hope people do the math.
Dude, if you live in a rural area, you already know this.
Yeah, you already know this stuff.
That a lot of the medications that they banned for human consumption are in those veterinarian or feed stores. You already know that.
For my cats and dogs, instead of paying a high price for antibiotics, and this was a vet, I get a bottle of fish antibiotics, which are the same thing.
Yes.
That are the same exact thing, but you can buy them over the counter. It's just an extremely low dose, so you crack open 2 of those instead of 1 to give to a dog.
Actually, I looked at the dosage on the fish ones on a website, one of my knife buying websites, and they had that. You know, you had to scroll through and find it in their survival section, and they had amoxicillin, and it was exactly the same dosage as the amoxicillin I had in my medicine cabinet.
That you got, yeah, and it's the exact same company that makes those amoxicillin.
That's right. See, they put with generic names and stuff on a lot of it. But see, like, if you get Tylenol, for example, it might be an aftermarket Tylenol, but it in actuality is made by the same company that makes Tylenol. They just don't put the Tylenol name on it. It's a marketing scam.
And that's a lot of it is with the insurance companies, the medical industry and stuff like that. And a lot of the influence they have with a lot of it, because they charge a lot more for those prescriptions.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, those pet supply or those vet supply stores are awesome. You can get anything, creams that you would normally have to get, like say your dog gets a cut. Well, with the dog, you'd have to go to the vet, get a prescription and stuff like that. And I don't want to get at the channel in any trouble by saying if I had a scratch. So, but y'all know what I mean. If your dog had a scratch, you could go there and get it and put it on there, and you don't have to go to the vet and get a prescription.
Are you familiar with DMSO?
I am not.
I bet Don T is, because back during the Reagan years, DMSO made this huge upsurge, and people started using it. And then after Reagan got out of there, I don't remember which president it was after Reagan, but I mean, I know which presidents we had after Reagan. I don't remember which president after Reagan where they took them all off the shelves again. But they took them all off the shelves, but you still could get it in a feed store. And it was part of sports medicine. And people were using it for arthritis and all kinds of other stuff. Well, now they sell it for horses, and it says it's for horses and not for human use. But we were using it for years. And
you could still get it and use it for, in quotations, your puppy dog.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can get it at a feed store or Petco. Probably find it at Petco, DMSO. And DMSO it's like an ointment stuff that you put on, and it goes down beneath your dermis. It goes down into your body and heats it up and starts the healing process. Gets blood flow into the area. It's a very, very powerful thing.
At those vet supply stores, they have antiseptics that are the same things they use in like ERs, stuff like that.
Well, you want to use an antiseptic before you put the DMSO on.
For your puppy dog, of course, if Twitch is watching, we're talking about for a puppy dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Or a cow or whatever, if they're bruised or, got hurt, climbing over a barbed wire fence or whatever, Yep. Anyway, you put that for muscle sprains. They use it for racehorses for muscle sprains and stuff. It helps horses. It's the same thing as MSM, which is it's a sulfur. It's organic sulfur is what it is. And I use it. I use MSM, and it is for human consumption. Well, DMSO is in the same family. It was something that was naturally in our environment, and people started washing their vegetables and everything, and they wash all of it off.
You can buy the little capsules of liquid stitch too. That's basically super glue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I have that stuff too. Yep. But you can buy that for human use.
Yeah, it's called New Skin.
See, I've never been able to find it. I looked at pharmacies and everything.
Yeah, it's called New Skin. If you find it for humans for that purpose, rather. But yeah, you can just get the cheap tubes of super glue. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Super glue, but it's purple.
Yeah, this stuff has antiseptic properties. So when you use it, you obviously, if you have a wound or something, you want to irrigate it with a saline solution first, and make sure you clean out the wound. Make sure it's clean before you apply it, because you don't want to lock any dirt or anything in an open wound. Any germs, bacteria, or whatever.
And actually, for this, I'm legitimately talking about the puppies. But I've had, the dogs get caught in like a wire or something like that, come back to the house and had a big tear on their leg, and stuff I've gotten from those vet supply stores. We were able to get it cleaned out good, get it sealed up, and it was perfectly fine.
Okay.
And saved a, $500 emergency vet visit.
If you work in emergency healthcare, we have a place where the ambulances, to restock their ambulances, buy all their stuff. It's a first responder type of a medical supply place, and they have exactly stuff like that for boo-boos. That it's deep enough. You don't really need stitches, but you want to close it so you don't get bacteria and get an infection. There's stuff like that, and it is basically I don't think it's the same exact thing as super glue. In fact, I was told that super glue may not be good, but other people say, yeah, I know they glued me back up instead of sutures when I had my back surgery, and it was the weirdest thing. When it started really healing and everything, I started getting this plastic-like shit coming out of my back. It was the super glue that was coming out of the wound as it was healing from the surgery. Oh, he's gone. I'll shut up.
He hit the wrong button. He'll be back. But yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Have you
Yeah,
used super glue, Wizard?
Do what?
Have you used super glue on an open wound?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
On my kids, yeah. I've been using it for years.
Okay.
I knew about it when I was in the service.
Yep. I think it started in the Korean War, actually.
I don't know about that, but I learned about it when I was over in Germany. The infantry guys come in, their feet look like shit. I just coat them with super glue and let them air dry, and then they were loving it. Yeah, they could walk. Yeah, without pain or without. Hell yeah.
As for super glue, I think super glue is awesome because I succeeded and I put stitches in my pinky when I split it open on a piece of flashing. I split it open from just above the palm all the way to the tip, and I did stitches with we soaked fish line in rubbing alcohol, and I did this. That
Singularity,
means
you're breaking up pretty bad. I don't know what's going on, but you're getting some breakup and noise with you.
all right. I'll be back.
All right, refresh.
I'm kind of wondering what Nightingale thinks about super glue.
Well, if you got a sore or a cut that you would think would need stitches, pinch it together and then put the super glue on it, and then put a piece of tape over it. The piece of tape will come off of it later on, but it holds it together while the super glue takes effect. Okay, and that's how you do that.
Is that better?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
No idea what that was.
there's this connection stuff.
Yeah. But as what I said about the stitches, I don't care how much of a man you think you are, you will dang near pee your pants when you're trying to stitch yourself. Just saying, it is not as much fun as it sounds.
Oh, I've put sutures on myself.
It sucks, doesn't it?
Only when you get to the edges.
You get into those nerves that are already cut open, and just it ain't cool.
No, but it hurts. It doesn't hurt a lot. I mean, it's not so drastic at the where the cut is, but when you get past to do the secure stitch on the end of a longer cut or something, that's when that motherfucker hurts.
I know. And then it's funny because you hit like a breaking point, or like 2/3 through. I don't know if it's just that you can't feel it as much anymore until, like you say, you get to that end where nothing's wrong with it and you got to tie it up there.
Well,
but
right, once you get into the subcutaneous, there's no nerve endings down there. It's all up in the epidermis, the upper layers of the skin, the upper 7 layers of the epidermis.
So popping
that's where
through
your nerve endings are. That's where your sweat glands are. That's where your pain sensors are.
Look, Sing, if you're squeamish about that, we'll just use some ether and knock you out.
No, first spray with no. You don't even have to do that. And we just hit him in the head. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, big old club mallet.
My first thing I ever did in my kit, the first thing is that first aid spray, that analgesic and antiseptic spray,
Bactine
spray. Yeah, Lanacane.
Lanacane.
Spray that on there, dude. Yeah, that
spray
it on there and give it about 30 seconds, and you can touch that thing and mess with it. So you get subcutaneous. Now, once you do it, if you have to do stitches or something like that, it's not. You don't have to do stitches anymore. All you got to do is have the bandage. Ooh.
I had rubbing alcohol and a toothbrush to clean mine out.
Just use a cannabis compress.
But yeah, hopefully you ain't got to clean it out too bad. But let's just spray it down with silver. Yeah, but first thing you hit it with is that antiseptic and Lanacane. You know what I'm saying? spray, that sports spray. You spray that, hit that with the sports spray. Give it about 30 seconds. It'll stop hurting so much. And then you can do what you got to do.
This was an old rusty piece of flashing on a barn, and it literally left like marks of the rust on parts on the inside that were just still white, not completely bleeding yet. Because when I looked at it right away before it really started, it left streaks of that. So yeah, I scrubbed it.
Oh wow, that's a pain.
That sounds like a tetanus situation.
Yeah. And luckily I had my tetanus shot. So
I haven't had a tetanus shot in a while. Maybe I should get one.
I got another one about 4 years ago because we're taking an old rusty roof off, and I got just a little nick on my leg and figured I better see what my last tetanus shot was.
Right. Right.
And I was a good 3 years overdue.
That's a good idea. Did you hear what she just said? She says put Anbesol on it.
Yeah.
Anbesol's got clove and stuff in it. But it'll numb.
Yep. Demerol. It's Demerol. It's actually got Demerol in it. The numbing.
I love Demerol.
The rubbing alcohol, it was fire. I do remember that. But trying to hold it open and scrub it with that little toothbrush, that's
painful enough just to think about it. You know, I'm just saying.
It'd make my hand like tighten up every time I hit a little nerve.
Demerol made me feel so good. That was the best I ever felt.
I can't take that potent stuff. It makes me like seasick or something. It makes me nauseous. I'll feel worse than what the pain is because it'll make me throw up forever.
Demerol didn't do that to me.
No.
I don't think I've ever had Demerol, but anytime they've given me heavy-duty painkillers or something.
It's better than morphine.
They're probably hitting you with morphine.
Morphine's great.
Morphine.
Yeah, but you move around. The trick is with morphine, you have to lay down. You have to stay still.
Don't get up. You ain't walking around. That's for sure.
No, you do not get up. You do not stand upright. As soon as you do, you sick, puke, ready, vomit. You just lay down, stay there.
That's probably what it was then, because I know it made my head start spinning, and then I went and laid down, but I had to get back up again and go throw up after I walked around.
Ooh.
Yeah, but as long as you stay laying down, you don't get that problem.
Put me out. Knock my motherfucking ass out.
Same here.
Give me the local, give me the general, and then knock me out. I need it all.
I spent 2 weeks in the hospital with spinal meningitis. They sent me home and gave me morphine. Yeah, you don't get up. You just lay on the couch and
Spinal meningitis. My gosh. I heard that's one of the most painful things.
Oh, God. Yeah. It's your whole spine and every nerve ending that attaches to it. I know all about it.
That's another thing. They nicked something in my back during the surgery, and I wound up losing some spinal fluid. And they told me that could happen, if they nicked it, and they had a spinal fluid leak. But I had a headache, man. I had the worst freaking headache, and I heard spinal meningitis is like that. Just really bad.
I passed out in the emergency room. It got so bad, I was like, man, I can't deal with this. I was already max dosing ibuprofen and stuff like that. I was like, we got to go to the hospital because this is something else wrong. And I thought I was going to have an aneurysm or something, actually, because I was still recovering. I was still in that stage where they would tell me I'm going to die. That 2 years, it was in that time.
Another one. If they ever use chlorophyll on you, that one will give you a really bad headache when you wake up. Chloroform?
Oh, yeah.
The dentist when I broke those teeth, the dentist gave me the gas, whatever that gas is. I think it's literally nitrous oxide or something like that.
It is laughing gas.
Yeah. Yeah, waking up from it, my throat, my mouth was dry. I mean, that was awful waking up from that.
Yep.
No,
Felt like
no, actually, laughing gas doesn't knock you out. It does. It's not supposed to knock you out. They actually give you something different to knock you out.
I don't know if I was I should say whenever I realized what was going on again. I presume they knocked me out.
Laughing gas.
He wasn't cognitive. I'll put it that way.
What they do, they give you the laughing gas, and then they administer like Novocaine. Well, they don't use Novocaine. Whatever, something Lanacaine or whatever the hell it is they use in the needle. So that's before you get the needle.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I apparently wasn't staying still enough when they were jabbing around in there in the broken areas with their picks, and the guy pulled back and they gave me that stuff.
Can you hear the helicopter flying over?
Yeah, that's a loud one.
I've got a helicopter flying over me right now.
The good thing about living in the Air Force's little route that they do from Colorado Springs, they come up here, you can tell the difference. And like civilian helicopters are quieter than military helicopters.
Well, that one had a whole this one had a whole ton of lights on it. I don't think it was light. I can't tell it's dark out. I can't tell if it's military or not. Well, I can tell if it's military. They have a very distinct sound when the Apaches fly over and the Blackhawks.
Right.
Usually the Apaches sound like the Blackhawks until they go into stealth mode. And then you can't even hear them.
Nightingale?
We get mostly like Blackhawks and then those the big green giants or whatever they are, those double prop flying those over here.
Chinooks.
Yep.
Yeah. Nightingale. Hold on a second, guys. Nightingale, like I said, just get that can. You can go. They sell it at Walmart, pharmacies, any pharmacy. It's on the shelf over there with the first aid stuff. It's a little spray. It's analgesic. It's called, a lot of times called sports spray. Antiseptic. Make sure it's got the analgesic feature on there, as well as the antiseptic. And you spray that on and give it 30 seconds, and it won't hurt them as bad. A lot of the pain will subside. And it's an antiseptic. So
now, I am thinking about selling survival cans of dehydrated dihydrogen oxide. For survival.
Right.
Yeah. H2O. All you have to do is add water.
Well, I got the joke, Bill.
You just open the can and add water, and it'll rehydrate it. Yeah. I actually saw that in a store. They had cans, and it said, in case dehydrated H2O, open only in case of only in case of emergency. Just add water. And they were doing it as a joke. They were doing it as a joke, but that's where I got that from.
Nice.
I've seen cans of air. You know, from like Florida and then Texas and then the coast and Acapulco, you know.
Did you guys
remember the movie Spaceballs where they have the canned air? Yeah, yep.
Do you guys remember a company called Emergency Essentials by any chance?
I don't.
We had them all over the place around here. I thought they were national. I don't know. But we had them all over the place, and they sold dehydrated products. That's the store I'm talking about. And they disappeared. They're all gone. The stores are all gone. We had them all over the place around here. They even sold freeze dryers to freeze dry your own food and everything.
Oh wow!
Dehydrators.
I bet you the online craze really hurt them.
Maybe they went online. I'm gonna check it out.
And pretty smart because they don't have all the overhead of all the building space. They just have to have one storage area and then send it from there.
Well, that works to a degree, but if you're like me, I noticed that when I buy shoes, sometimes I get shoes that say the foot size that I have and they don't fit me, or something really funky about them. So
Boots are the worst.
I can't buy shoes online. I have done it, but I have to try them on. And I think we need brick and mortar stores to come back, because there's a lot of things that you can't buy them online. And I mean, of course, Amazon gives you the option that you can return it with no problem, or they'll refund you and even let you keep them. They've done that. For me, they refunded me, sent me a new pair, and let me keep the old pair, and refunded me. Amazon has done that. I mean, it's kind of hard to beat their service. I mean, I'm not a fan of Jeff Bezos and all that, but
I agree
whether
with
we like
you
it or not, I think Amazon is going to keep on growing.
It will, and I think Walmart is actually going to be its main competitor, because Walmart's is starting to go online now.
They started a long time ago, and their online does not work.
Oh, bummer.
No,
it does. I've used it several times. I mean, because the local store doesn't have what I want, so I have to order it online.
I think Walmart is one of those companies that thinks they're too big to fail.
I agree about Walmart, but at the same time, I want Amazon to have competition. Right now, Walmart would be the only thing that can do it.
Well,
at least there would be two competing against each other.
The last time I tried to order from Walmart, I was trying to order a long eye relief scope. So it said on their website that my local Walmart had 12 of them in stock. And I called, and they didn't know if they had them or not. I get there, and I have to go all the way to the store and everything, find out they didn't have any in stock. And I said, well, can I order one? And, they said, yeah, you can do it on our computer right here. So I get on there, and it says none available.
Nice.
They probably pulled them. Yeah.
I do agree with you, though, about the shoes and jeans, especially like with shoes. If I order offline, they don't give you the choice of width on shoes and boots. I've never seen the width on there, and I've got to have D to DE width, or else I'll just rip them out. So I've got to get those local to where I could try them on, make sure they're the right width, and
right.
And jeans, just you guys know what jeans are. They got to fit right. Otherwise, you're not going to wear them.
Not for long. Either way.
So what you're saying is you got duck feet.
Yeah, they're white old feet. Pretty much clown feet.
He's got 6 toes.
Yeah.
Actually, since I lost weight,
No.
I used to wear an extra wide width also. And since I lost weight, I actually my foot width went down. And now the wides are too sloppy on my feet.
Nice.
I think I was getting like doubly wides or something like that.
See, I got to go D or DE depending on the brand.
Yeah, my feet are as small as they were when I was 18.
Mine are the same size as I were latter years of high school.
Yeah. Oh, well, only the width changed. No, actually, the length too. The length of my feet actually changed as I got older. They got long. My feet did grow a little bit. Yeah.
I if I don't want to lose too much. I could try to lose some weight, but I don't. I'm trying to gain right now. I want to get back up to 205, and I'm at 198 now, so I got 7 pounds to go.
Oh, how tall are you?
I'm trying to 6'2".
Oh yeah, that sounds about right for 6'2".
Yeah, actually, they tell me even though I'm at 8% body fat, which I could get down to 7 or 6 even and everything, but I'm at 8%, and they tell me I'm overweight. They tell me I should be within the 185 to 190 mark.
I don't believe that's true. But
Yeah,
actually carrying a few extra pounds is actually healthier.
right.
Not being obese or really overweight or anything, but carrying a little bit extra weight. I think it's healthier. I mean, I've heard both sides of that story, but I think it is healthier.
I know people at 3% body fat, which is like the minimum. You got to be real careful at that, and they do. If you drop below 3%, your body starts feeding for energy off of muscle, and once your body starts feeding off of muscle, it doesn't stop.
Exactly. You get muscle wasted.
Yep, I think right around that 8 to 9 is a good area to be personally. It's not super definition or anything, but it's still healthy, I think. But yeah, one of my friends, Jared, he's at 3%, and God, he has to like literally make sure he takes a certain amount of good fatty intake and stuff like that every day.
Now, Wiz, I was just learning about a thing in Ireland. They had really high percentage of COVID over in Ireland, and they're saying one of the other factors that nobody had ever considered about why that percentage was so high, not necessarily having to do with the fact that it's the most vaccinated of all the countries in the European Union. It is the most vaccinated, and they have the highest morbidity rate of from COVID. But the thing of it is, they also have the lowest vitamin D. They have a very bad low rate of vitamin D in the average Irish population. So that, and the Koreans were saying that too. South Korea, doctors were dosing their patients that had COVID with vitamin D, and they were just coming right out of it.
Yeah.
And so there's new findings now that the stupid little vitamin that nobody really gave a whole lot of credence to about 5 years ago. Now they're finding out that it has a lot to do with our immune system. Exactly. Stupid little thing like vitamin D3.
A lot of people quit drinking whole milk. They drink that 2%, and that 2% has no vitamin D in it.
No.
I don't drink that. I don't drink 2% or 1%.
I love my whole milk. Yep. I've got to have whole milk. The rest tastes like water.
Exactly. 2%.
I used to drink the whole milk, but when the heart issues, and they told me to drink 2%.
Yeah,
Yep.
they do that with the with males with men also when it comes to oh, what the fuck was that? Cholesterol.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's mainly what it is they say that whole milk causes cholesterol and causes the heart to go bad.
yeah. They said that about eggs too. Then reversed it about 4 or 5 years later.
Yep.
Eggs they've done about 2 or 3 times. They've flip flop on that so much.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to get engaged in that milk conversation.
Well, I mean, because I used to drink regular milk because mom and dad had the cow, and we used to do
Yep.
our own milk. And that's what they was trying to tell mom that started my heart problems.
No, I don't.
Because
See,
they couldn't come up with anything, so they told mom with my bad heart and
Yeah,
stuff it was because of the milk.
yeah, they were bullshitting.
and I've
unpasteurized. Basically, it's unpasteurized
Yeah,
whole milk.
You were drinking the good stuff.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
that never would have caused no heart problem.
Nope, not at all.
did your doctor though get it under control with a lot of that? Maybe it did.
No, because
Help.
I ended up having the open heart surgery when I was 19.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
And I had to have
Oh wow.
the 2 valves replaced, the myotic and the aorta valve.
Wow.
You
I had
know,
them both
That's
replaced when I was 19.
do you know the
That-
one organ that has everything to do with what affects your cholesterol is your liver. Your liver affects your cholesterol. So
Yeah, and I've been watching a lot of the videos and stuff, and also it has a lot to do with the me being diabetic now.
that's
what?
that.
Oh,
I'm
your
sorry
liver.
that
Yeah.
happened to you at night. I'm sorry that happened to you at 19, Kim. That's scary for me to think about at 45. I can only imagine going through that at 19.
But
well, believe it or not, a lot of these afflictions, believe it or not, a lot of the afflictions that the human body experiences in this day and age are due to vitamin deficiencies, vitamin and
Right.
mineral deficiencies.
yeah, yep.
Plus,
And
I think a lot of the preservatives that are in a lot of food that we eat now. I think a lot of our cancers are coming, in my opinion, coming from
And
preservatives.
people
You look
who,
at America.
to
Yeah.
reinforce what Wizard just said, I'll tell you who said that. The first person that started to get into the vitamin deficiency thing was Dr. Wallach. And Dr. Wallach was the one that wrote the book Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And he started out in veterinarian and then went on to human medicine. And he was the veterinarian for Merlin Perkins Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom. And that's who Dr. Wallach was. And he noticed, I'm just reinforcing what Wizard just said. He noticed that the farmers were investing all this, nutrition and everything into their livestock, but not into themselves. And and a lot of the farmers were sick, and their animals were well. And he's like, something's wrong here. And so he went into a whole bunch of studies and everything, and found out a lot of it was nutritional deficiencies, not from catching diseases or heredity or any of that. It was that our soils were being depleted and coming off of these big mega farms where they would farm the same crop year after year, never rotate their crops, and so on and so forth. Anyway, read the book Dead Doctors Don't Lie by Dr. Wallach. And
Looked at
Jack LaLanne.
Time for pie.
Jack LaLanne said the same thing. He said, "Let food be your medicine," which was from Socrates, and it was you need it. have food that has the nutrition and get it from places. Get your food from places that still haven't had their soils depleted or anything like that. And that's what is going on in the American diet. And that's why everybody is sick. Everybody's sick.
Believe it or not, all your spices that we don't use anymore, like thyme and rosemary and all these things, all that stuff, that's where the source of the vitamins were.
Yeah. And like I said, the other week was like when I listened to that thing, and it takes now with them planting carrots so close and not letting it refurnish the ground by dying and resoiling or re-nutrition in it. It takes 100 carrots to get 1 carrot, the vitamins out of 1 carrot.
Right.
At 50, 60 years ago, we had eaten 1 carrot and get as much vitamins as it takes 100 carrots today to give us.
But
no, I think if you have a good relationship with your doctor, you trust your doctor, and your doctor's actually done good things, I think definitely do what the doctor says. But if he hasn't fixed anything, then I fire you. I'd find a different doctor. Because if it's still an issue, maybe there's another doctor a town over or something.
Right. But with my heart issues, like I said, I had surgery when I was 19. I had 2 valves replaced. So I've been on the rat poison, which that's what it is. Coumadin is rat poisoning. I've been on it since I was 19.
Yeah, stick with your doctor. I agree with that. I mean, if you're under a doctor's care, and this is stuff that's life dependent, I'd discuss it with them, but don't go off half cocked and go off your meds.
Right.
You know, make sure you do it the right way and discuss it. Say, you know what, I'm going to start putting turmeric in my food or whatever, and see what he says about that. You know, whatever it is. I'm saying turmeric.
Right.
But
and that's what I used to do with my old doctor, but he was old when I was 19, and since he has died and everything, and now these younger doctors trying to put me on all this other medications and everything makes it worse.
Try to talk to a doctor that's a little more natural minded, right?
Yeah.
Because there's actually green vegetables that will thin your blood, and you might not need to stay on that Coumadin. If you got, let's say, kale or something like that, that's got a lot of vitamin K in it.
Yep. And that's one of the things they did.
Is there something that I can do to wean myself off of this medication that'll still thin my blood and isn't going to hurt me?
Well, that's what they did a long time ago, was totally take me off of all vitamin Ks.
Yeah, because it's a blood thinner.
Yeah.
And then they put you on another blood thinner that came from a laboratory.
Yeah.
See? That's what I'm saying. There's got to be a better way. Is there a natural approach that I can take to this?
You don't agree that she should listen to her doctor?
I said
Nightingale. No, Nightingale said that she didn't agree. Because I was saying definitely listen to your doctor.
Right,
if you trust
because
him.
That's just it. My old doctor I did trust.
No, don't listen to your doctor. Don't just listen to your doctor.
Newer ones are forced, are trying all this new medication.
Kimmy.
And that's what I'm trying to do, is get back to the old stuff.
Amen. Okay.
And that's what I've been doing, is watching a lot of the different foods and different things that they say that used to give us the value when it was grown right.
Well, it may not be enough. If I would still talk to your doctor, but you don't. What I was going to say is, don't just listen to your doctor. Get your doctor to listen to you.
Yeah.
Your doctor needs to hear what you have to say, because you have a right over your own body.
If you trust your doctor though, and it's done good, then yeah,
that's what I was saying back
Well, if you
years
can't trust
ago.
him, get another one. If you can't trust your doctor, get a different one.
Yeah.
right.
Back years ago, I did. I had the best. I mean, it was proof
Nice.
that he was the best in the Ohio and in the States at the time when I was 19.
I know a doctor who's a
Oh
licensed
yeah,
MD. I know a doctor who's a licensed MD, and he actually he gave up his license under the AMA, the American Medical Association, because he didn't like a lot of the meds that they were telling him that he had to put people on, and his conscience couldn't deal with it, and so he went into a private practice where he's an MD, but he's also a naturopath.
Yeah.
And a guy like him would not steer you wrong. He's not about trying to get you on, but I mean, if you need to stay on a medicine that's life dependent, he would probably tell you, keep using this, and maybe we can get you in more.
Watch for this effect, and then you feel this effect.
Yeah.
I got nothing but good things to say about this guy. Yep, and he even does acupuncture. If he can cure you with acupuncture, get to the root of whatever problems you're having, he'll do it that way, or put you on herbs or tell you to take pharmaceuticals. He doesn't necessarily tell people to stay on pharmaceuticals, but he tries to get people off them if he can.
Yeah.
That's the good kind of guy.
Because the natural healing, the natural sources, the natural product are not harmful in any way.
Right. I mean, if they tell you to take baby aspirin, ask your doctor, can I take white willow bark, and how much dose should I take?
Yeah, welcome in, Miriam. How you doing? But
they can't.
You know what? I just got to thinking, should we change the subject? Because isn't this what you got your strike for?
Oh, medical misinformation that one time. Yeah. Well, we're not on that channel anyway.
And we're not we're not giving medical misinformation. We're saying to keep your doctor and talk to a doctor. We're not saying.
Yeah, I know, but you know how they can
Oh yeah.
To try to we could say listen to your doctor all night long, and they could take one little thing out of context and try to nail us for it.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's just all the different research and stuff, and the different things that I've been listening to on all of the medical crap that they changed and says that now it ain't good for people, when 50, 60 years ago, that's what people used.
I guess if I could put everything in a nutshell, proper nutrition very likely you could avoid even having to go to a doctor.
Yes.
Right.
You don't have the problems to start with.
Well,
and get away from all processed food.
The old saying used to be, an apple a day kept the doctor away. Well, on that same show that I was saying about the carrots that they grow now they was saying the way that they grow apples and all the chemicals and everything that they spray on apple trees. It takes 10 apples to give us the nourish that one apple used to give us 50 years ago.
And see, that's where a lot of that, the genetic modifications got contorted, and everything got flipped into the same category that kind of hurt in a way, because some of them were just pest resistant and stuff. Then Monsanto's, they started doing some crazy stuff, and then they ruined the whole thing that some people are trying to do for good. And now Now they got rid of all the modified stuff, and now they're pumping chemicals on everything again.
Right.
It's a catch-22.
And like I said, the one guy I know, Dari, he does organic on all of his fruits and everything. He does it all organic and
Organic
make sure that
word,
he's
though.
huh.
Is a buzzword to catch you, because a lot of you can organic, just because it's grown organically doesn't mean it's good, and you have no way of checking it.
Well,
Now,
I
see,
mean, he
organic in
don't.
Colorado has a list of stipulations. If you're an organic grower in Colorado, there's like literally, and they will check your soils. They will check everything here in Colorado for it.
Right. And what I mean by his organic thing, because he's a farmer, he makes sure that no kind of chemicals and stuff like that get sprayed on anything that he buys and sells to the small mom and pop restaurants and stuff like that. And he makes sure that none of the guys that grow the foods for him, that they do it, leaves the fields lay every 7 years and does it all the
Yep.
time.
Yeah. Here in Colorado, I got a cousin that does organic like wheat, and he does some dryland corn, and they come down and check the soil to make sure no herbicide or pesticide, if there's a trace of anything, even if his neighbor sprays and it comes over on his soil, he will lose that organic license, whatever it is, the thing to where he can sell it as organic. If they test it, and even if his neighbor gets like a plain spray in and it misses over and gets in his soil, he's done. And he makes a lot more money off that organic stuff, actually.
Excuse me, is this the rehab clinic?
Yeah, that's what Dari's doing, and all the farmers and stuff that grows and sells to him, they go through that process.
Yep. And there's like a license they carry. And if it's like the one here in Colorado, I mean, it is strict. It's really strict. I had 200 chickens, and I raised, sold the eggs as organic. And I mean, I could drive them to the Front Range. I was making a killing because they pay like crazy up there. Those liberals pay like crazy for some of that stuff. And but to sell it as that, if I gave and I had to give them eggs, they would test, you know, the occasional egg. Basically, I just have to pick one out, you know, bring it, drop them off to them and everything at the office in a county just up from mine. They had an office. Drop it off there, they test it. If I gave a chicken an antibiotic, I could not use any of those eggs for at least 6 months.
Yep.
Milk,
Well, it was completely out of the system.
milk is the same way from cows.
Yep.
If there's one cow in the whole dairy that's on an antibiotic, they have to separate the cow from the entire herd.
Yep.
And they don't tell you when they're testing, what they're testing. They'll just have you drop some off on the way through, or they'll come and it's they don't play around.
all milk here is antibiotic free. So when they say antibiotic free, people go they think that they're just doing it as a marketing thing, but all milk in, I think, the entire United States is antibiotic free. You can't say that. You can't say that about chickens, but no. If you have a cow that they hook up the milking machine that's got antibiotics, it'll taint the entire milk supply, and they got to get rid of it all.
Right. That's why I said they're not supposed to do it.
They have to separate them from the herd. And then there was another thing that they used to give them, and they stopped in 1976, and it was a hormone. And all it was a hormone that the cows naturally had in them anyway, but they just increased the level of that hormone so that the cow would produce more milk and bear more calves, so that it would make the cow a little more fertile.
Mhm.
And they stopped it in 1976, and these environmentalists keep saying that they're still putting that in there, and they're not. They haven't since 1976. It was either 76 or 73 when they quit using that. But it was already a hormone that was in cows anyway.
Right.
So
I tell you what, after I worked at a feedlot, when I got laid off the rigs in 2009, I went to work at a feedlot, and they had this chemical they put in the feed that would fatten them up quicker, and it literally like tenderized the meat as they were growing in the feedlot. This chemical was so nasty. These people had to wear respirators. They had to wear like these white plastic body suits. They couldn't, if they got it on their skin, they had an emergency washout center. I mean, it was granted they only put like a gallon of it in several tons of food, but still, you think about it, it's stuff they put in them at the feedlot to fatten them up, and it is some nasty stuff.
Where was this?
In Colorado, at one of the 5 rivers. It's one of the biggest feedlots in
Do you know
the
what the
nation.
chemical was?
I don't know what it was. It had to do with it made them gain water quicker, or gain fat and water quicker.
I'm going
And
to tell
it
you what it was.
literally,
I'm going to tell
what's
you what
that?
it was. I'm going to tell you what
Okay.
it was. It was MSG.
Is that what it was?
That's what it was.
I know in
With
its condensed form, it's apparently very dangerous.
Well, you could do the same thing with salt. You do the same exact thing with salt. It was MSG. I know because when they show them, and they take them over the auction block, the cattle that they take over the auction block, like say the state fair or 4-H or something like that, it was either salt or it was MSG, and it was to put weight on them, water weight, everything what you just said, and it also gives the cows a headache. So they get unruly, they get like irritable, they're mooing like crazy. Yeah, that's what happens, and I'm against that. And they do that just to get more money per pound off the meat.
Yep. That it probably was that then, because that's what everybody said. It produced they got more weight when they went to slaughter.
The only one I know of is MSG. I work with cows. I know the shit.
After that, I never bought from a chain store again, or anybody that I just bought it local.
Yep. I worked
And
on
I've
the
had
largest cattle ranch in the state of Utah. Not land-wise, but they had the most head of livestock of any cattle ranch in our entire state. I worked for that company. So, yeah, I know we did. And that's how I know. We had milk cows. We didn't sell the milk. All the livestock that we had were actually, for meat production.
Yep. You look at the numbers, and look at the numbers of cases of colon cancer in the United States, and then you look at the numbers in the United States and Canada, and then you look at the numbers of processed foods and over preserved foods that we eat in Canada and America, and both numbers are really higher than everywhere else. And it makes you wonder if a lot of the processed foods and the preserved foods, some of those preservatives that they put in all that stuff, are causing a lot of this.
I'm sure.
It is. According to quite a few of the different things that I have seen on the internet and stuff, some of the stuff that Americans still use as preservatives and as fillers in our
Yep.
foods for our animals to eat, for us to be able to cook them, to eat them.
Yep.
A lot of the fillers and stuff has been condemned and been not been able to be used in other
Other
areas.
countries.
Yeah, countries.
I believe it wholeheartedly. And our corporate
I've been
control of stuff.
watching a lot of that.
I think, isn't Kellogg's over there in Colorado?
In Denver, they have a big Kellogg's processing plant.
Yeah. Well, okay, so a lot of this stuff, let's just take a loaf of Wonder Bread. Everybody loves Wonder Bread, right? Mm-hmm. And if you look in the ingredients, I mean, everything looks benign, but then you see things that you can't pronounce.
Yep.
If you can't pronounce it, and it wasn't food 100 years ago, it isn't now.
Right.
Actually, I've got a doctor, and he's more of a natural, doesn't like to give prescriptions doctor. And that's what he said. He said, if you can't pronounce it, you probably shouldn't be eating it. He said, look at the label. He said, because everything you should be putting in your body, you're going to be able to pronounce pretty easily, and you've already heard of it.
So do you even know what locust bean gum is?
No, I've never even heard of it.
I have no idea.
Well, it's in your yogurt and stuff.
Yeah, it's in yogurt.
Yeah, if you start just looking at, you think yogurt's relatively healthy and everything. There are things there's actually a coloring that they use in yogurt that's made from some kind of a bug that they raise that gives it a blue look, and it's not from fruit. So there's a lot of things in just simple things like yogurt that we probably shouldn't be eating either. I mean, but I don't know. You need the bacteria from yogurt that's supposed to help your gut. So maybe I would look at the ingredients.
But yet a lot of the stuff that they say is supposed to be more healthier for you, like all the invitation sugar, because when you have sugar diabetes, you're not supposed to use sugar anymore. So you're supposed to use the sweeteners. And the sweeteners end up, a lot of the stuff that they put in the sweeteners is more dangerous to your health than what sugar is.
You just got to get out of the habit of needing things to be sweet.
And see, whole grain is misleading because regular wheat flour and stuff like that, you get the full wheat grain. Whole grain is they're putting the husk and all, and your body doesn't actually necessarily like a husk, and it doesn't process it well. And it's actually similar to like tomatoes. The husk is actually, it decreases the amount of collagen in your body. So
it damages the your
the lining,
the bowel, and causes rips and tears, and causes it to leak out in through the body.
Yep. And it's not necessarily like poisonous for you, it just does not do you a lot of good.
Right.
The whole grain, it's misleading.
Let me think of what they call it, the leaky gut syndrome. And that's where the fat and stuff like that leaks out of the tube. It rips a hole, and then it leaks out, and your body can't use it as it's supposed to, and it gets mixed in with the blood and stuff like that. It gets into the other organs.
Yep. And the funny thing is they sell whole grain for more, and there's actually less processing that goes into whole grain.
Yep, and it causes your
I find
body
that,
more damage.
yeah, it's definitely not near as good for you as they say it is. I stick with white bread, and Huckleberry is talking about making her own bread in chat. Actually, I put on my save for buy later list on Amazon a grain grinder. I want to start just buying my own wheat, stuff like that, making my own flour, so I know exactly what's in it.
Right.
Because that they have actually they actually take certain things out, I guess is what it is, of flour to give it a longer shelf life.
What it boils
good
down
thing.
to, what it boils down to, is eat grains. Grains are good. I mean, you need to have grains in your
Oh,
diet. But it boils down to, you first we're talking about all the colon problems that people are having in America, in the US and Canada. And it's not about eating more fiber, it's about eating more soluble fiber. So soluble fiber would be like eating a banana, for example, or letting your grains, cooking them for a while so that they hydrate. What your body needs is soluble fiber, because the other fibers like wheat bran and stuff, it doesn't digest.
and
It doesn't,
less preservatives. Oh, take care, Nightingale. I just noticed that.
and it doesn't clean your colon out. So
Right.
you need more soluble fiber, not fiber, and probably more omega-3s.
Dream well,
And a
Patriot.
good turbocharged bidet. No, I'm kidding.
Good night,
we're
Nightingale.
having a conversation about turbocharged bidets the other day, so thought I'd toss that in.
Well, and not only in
Good night, Nightingale.
people, but in for our dog food and all that kind of stuff, when they do all this cooking of the foods and stuff that's supposed to be in the dog food, they actually cook all of the vitamins out of it.
I know a lot of dog foods are not necessarily healthy for your dog. That's kind of funny, because actually I'm more cognizant of what I buy for my pets than what I buy for myself. I'm more likely to read what's on. What's that?
It goes right back to Dr. Wallach. Even the doctors don't even try and put us on a good diet. You ever notice that the doctors don't seem to know shit from Shinola about good nutrition? They'll tell you. They'll tell you, I don't know anything about nutrition. I'm a doctor. They don't.
That makes sense, because for my niece, she actually went to a nutritionist, an actual nutritionist, to get.
I mean, you don't get rid of weeds by mowing over them. You got to pull them out by the roots, and you got to go to the root cause of all these sicknesses and diseases that people are getting. And it's their lifestyle. It's their fast food. It's the McDonald land. Who knows what they're putting in McDonald land food?
Right.
Vitamin and mineral deficiencies.
And a lot of it, like I said, I've been watching a lot of stuff on channels now over the internet, since I don't have a TV. And I go through a lot of the different things that since all this with the presidents and all this stuff has come out, a lot of food stuff has came out, that a lot of doctors that used to push a lot of the pharmacy medicines and everything is starting to get back to the root cause of all this stuff, and they're saying that a lot of it is the pharmacy pills, to get back to the natural weeds, natural foods, natural greens, things that God put on the earth, and they used to eat 50 and 60 years ago, even 100 years ago, is the reason why they wasn't so much overweight and all of the problems that's been going on nowadays.
Well, I
We
don't
got to
think
get back to the root of what God put on the earth.
We
I
see
don't.
a Huckleberry.
I see you. Yeah, I was saying, see, you were saying good night to Nightingale, right?
I even answered her a few times. Jeez.
I guess I should be going.
Oh, yeah.
Why's that?
So got to get up in the morning.
Yeah, because the time changed.
There is that. Well, it's only 11:40 on my clock.
Yeah, it's 10:40 here. It's almost 11 o'clock.
It's 12:40 here.
Oh, yeah, right.
But my clock ain't changed yet.
Because I do
Miriam
get
was here
up.
for a minute, but then she left.
Computer clock changed, but not my clock. So,
Well, I'm gonna stick to my guns on this, and just say, if it wasn't food 100 years ago, it isn't now.
right,
And if it's made in a laboratory, it's not food.
right.
Shouldn't be
I
put
spoke
in your
the old
body.
way.
Shouldn't
Still
be
hasn't
put
come
in your body.
Right.
If it comes out of a lab, you should not be putting it in your body because it's not food.
Miriam says, I'm still here. I'm just quiet.
I marry you.
You guys should come up on panel. Talk again. You did good last night. See? Wasn't so hard.
Yeah, did Huckleberry ever come up on panel last night?
No.
I know Miriam did.
Yep,
Yeah.
but Huckleberry didn't. I think she said she was going to come back and come up, and then she never came back.
I see you, Huckleberry. I see Miriam.
Zoom.
Zach's still there.
Zoom is hanging out.
It says we got 10 people watching, and it's usually, that number is usually not right. It's usually more than that number.
Yeah.
But yeah, no shit, man. I tell you what,
Hey, Shaw.
we get there's Colonel Shaw, right?
Hi, Shaw.
He's in the background.
Him and his eye peepers.
Hi, Huckleberry.
Zach.
Colonel Shaw, salute.
Now, just because I want to eat food that was food 100 years ago doesn't mean I want 100-year-old food.
Right.
Yeah, that may not be too good for you.
100-year-old whiskey might be good.
It would be good.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it is good. Yeah.
Some of the
I can't
whiskeys
drink
and
it,
wines.
but it is good. I've had my share before. Yeah.
I've had old wine that tasted like vinegar.
I've had well, back in the 80s when I was over in Germany, I had 300-year-old Osbach cognac. Oh,
Cognac. Dude, I like cognac, but I don't like paying $500 a bottle for cognac.
I didn't pay a dime.
Oh, nice. And by the way, that's like the affordable cognac at $500 a bottle. Some of the, I mean, yeah. Well, you know, yeah. Some of you can pay
when you're in
upwards
Germany
of
at the
$1,000.
place. Well, when you're in Germany where they make it, it ain't that expensive.
I wonder how much cheaper tequila is in Mexico than what it is here for the same stuff.
It's like beer. It's like buying beer.
I mean,
You get the big names like Patron or something like that, but the agave is everywhere. There's tequila makers all over the place.
You could. I had a neighbor at my old place to where you could give him $10 and he'd bring you back 2 bottles of tequila that were 100% agave.
Yep.
And that's an agave, well, cactus. I mean, that's like pure, the best tequila. And yeah, so basically $5 a bottle is what he was getting it for down there.
regular
Right.
agave nectar is actually very sweet tasting, but it has very low sugar. It's amazing stuff. You can use agave as a sweetener and not worry about jacking up your sugars real bad.
I know a lot of places they peel it and eat it for like a snack.
Yeah.
It's true that mandatory jab for work came to a halt in America, according to the Fifth Circuit Court. Yep, but the media won't cover it.
Colonel Shaw, I gotta freaking give you guys the congrats. I saw huge crowds protesting the jab there. You got a lot to be proud of. They're doing stuff. They're pushing back, man.
That's good. Cool. Even with that Fifth Circuit, though, I think Biden's still going to make statements that he's going to try to force big companies to. Just like he did before. There was.
And in their own languages, in Netherlands and Australia, it was saying, "Let's go, Brandon." I mean, I don't care if it's Germany or France or whatever. In their language, it was saying, "Let's go, Brandon." What the heck is this? I mean, they're all saying "F you" to Biden. Every country. He's not running the show.
It's become the rebel cry. It's become the rebel cry.
Amen. Of all humanity.
And you got to figure it's the leader of the free world. I mean, America's president is literally the leader of the free world. So our choices affect a lot of the other countries out there too. So I mean, absolutely, they're saying, "Let's go, Brandon." He's the Manchurian
candidate of the world. Is what it is.
Yeah, exactly what it is.
Yeah, that pretty much nails it. Yeah, he's China's little
sock puppet.
Yep.
It's actually not just China; it's the globalists. It's UN.
Xi Jinping has got his little hand up Biden's butt, making him talk.
It's Soros.
I think, to be honest, as globalists, I think that China is their little powerhouse to push people around, try to push people around. I'm not so sure the globalists don't control China.
We have some old known globalists, okay? We've got Kissinger and Soros and Xi Jinping and blah, 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 whatever.
Colonel Shaw says, "Who the hell is Brandon?"
What?
Brandon was originally how this thing got started. Was the crowd at a NASCAR race was chanting "Fuck you, Biden," and the interviewer was interviewing the guy, one of the racers, Brandon, and turned around and the interviewer turned around during the interview and says, "Oh, you hear that? They're saying, 'Let's go, Brandon,'" trying to cover up the fact that trying to keep the interview together so it would air. Basically, because she knew they could say "Fuck you, Biden." So she tried to cover it up in your face light and made it part of the interview.
It's a slap in the face code.
Yeah.
F you, Biden.
Yeah. What Platoon said. Read what Platoon
That
said just above you. It's a word. Fuck Joe.
Fuck Joe Biden.
The NASCAR drive. That NASCAR driver never thought he'd be so famous.
So that's what they were really saying when Brandon won. They were saying "fuck Joe Biden, fuck Joe Biden," and then the newscaster said, "Oh, they're saying let's go Brandon," trying to cover, so that it's hilarious. So we made a meme out of it, and everybody's saying, "Let's go Brandon." Everybody's saying it, even in your country.
Yeah.
And
Canada.
it was so obvious. Yeah, and it was so obvious in that interview too. They took it offline. It was funny.
So if you say "Let's go Brandon," everybody knows that it means "fuck Joe Biden." Everybody knows now.
Right.
Okay.
And it exposes
about it.
And it exposes the mainstream media's attempts to cover up reality with their lies. That's become part of the meaning.
Yeah, and they can't cover it up now because everywhere Joe Biden goes, people are chanting "Let's go, Brandon," and he knows. He knows when he hears it, they're saying "Fuck you, Biden."
Even at one of his own events, he was stumping for the guy in Virginia, and they started chanting "Let's go, Brandon."
Yep. Yeah, there was a portion of the crowd saying.
That's hilarious. I mean, out of 12 people, at least 8 of them had to be chanting.
Right. I think there was 40 people there. There were 40 people there total. Yeah.
It means we all know he's a liar. It means the whole world knows that he's a liar. His ratings, popularity ratings and polls they've taken, it's lower than any president has ever been. He's got the most disapproved president that we've ever had, ever in history.
And here's the deal. They warp those so much in favor of their own people. Imagine what those polls really are, how low they actually are.
Oh,
it makes you wonder if they're in the single digits.
If they say the polls are, he has 30% of the people liking him, it means that he only has 5% of the people liking him.
Maybe 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's always skewed in favor of their person.
Yeah.
Even Democrats have turned their back on him.
Yeah, exactly, Colonel. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing.
Well, look at Youngkin in Virginia. They said that something like 40% of registered Republicans were likely voters for Youngkin.
The whole world knows that Biden shit his pants when he met the Pope. The whole world knows it.
No, yeah.
Everybody knows he shit his pants when he met the Pope.
Yep.
But I think he was actually trying to push out an egg. And it didn't go well. Oh well.
But yeah, this is just it's got to come to it's got to stop soon. This has got to stop very soon.
It is gonna. It's gonna. Things are gonna get better.
As close as it was in New Jersey, Virginia, and the way Virginia went, as close as it was in New Jersey, 2022 is going to be insane, I think.
I think things are going to get really bad, and then they're going to get really good.
Well, guess what? Remember what I told you about what they were doing? The agenda, they're killing off their constituents. Because they're the people that will listen to them first. They're killing off their constituents.
Yep.
So they're losing ground because they're killing them off with their poison vaccines and their bad medical protocols, and they're the people that would vote for them. The majority of them. Now they're after the people that ain't voting for them. And we ain't taking it. They're quitting their jobs rather than, lose their life.
Unions that used to support the Democrats, a lot of them don't want the jabs. And they're
Well,
getting.
you got BLMs now change sides.
That's right.
Yeah, but they're still a Marxist organization.
Yeah. There's still all that bullshit, but they ain't stupid. At least some of them.
Well, they're
I'm
stupid.
warmer than everybody else. It's 50 degrees here. I am warmer than everybody else right now, apparently. That's weird.
Must be a lot of hot air down there.
I don't know what. Hold on a second. Let me see what the temp is here.
It's 46 here.
That's because you got all those hot air liberal politicians in Colorado.
Yeah, he's downwind from Denver.
That and this warm air started when I started coming back online and talking, so maybe that's a thing too.
Right.
The hot air coming from me.
Yeah, it's 45 here right now.
Yeah. Dang, I'm warmer than even you down there.
Yeah.
I told you we're having a heat wave.
What if you were to convert 6 degrees Celsius? What would that be in our terms? In Fahrenheit, like 20 or excuse me,
40 degrees, 45. I think somewhere near. Hold on.
a little above freezing. Yeah.
42.8.
Excuse
What'd you
me.
say? 42 point what?
0.8.
42. So almost 43 degrees.
I'm coughing and sneezing. I think that's the meanness coming out of me.
And then what is it? Negative 40 degrees or 42 degrees? They become the same after negative 42.
I'd have to look it up. Cold as shit and water freezes. It's freezing.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I look at it. That's freezing.
Negative 40 is where it is. Negative 40 degrees Celsius. And then it becomes the same as negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and everything below becomes the same.
Yeah, we're going to drop down to 41 tonight. So that'd be about the same as Colonel Shaw's temperature, close to it.
Oh, man. Well, guys.
I still got to yank some plants out.
Do what?
I still have to yank some plants out and turn the soil and stuff.
Oh,
I haven't
yeah,
cut my lawn.
I pulled out my okra plants today and gave them to the chickens. So
that's good chicken food.
Yeah. So they got something else besides, because I'm out of the MFA didn't have the corn. The Farmers Association, where I get my feed, they didn't have corn. And I'm like, what? You ain't got corn? Yeah, truck didn't show up. I was like, shit. So they should have it by now, though. They were supposed to get it in Thursday. So they should be stocked up pretty good. I'll go in tomorrow.
So did the truckers go on strike in different spots?
I don't think they're going to have to. But we'll see.
They were going to.
But now this Fifth Circuit Court decision may stop it from happening.
They better hurry up with that decision because there's a lot of drivers not going back yet. They want to know for sure.
So some of them did quit driving because of the shots and stuff.
Sweet dreams.
I want my name off the DOT records as a driver if they're going to be pushing that.
I answered you back on Whisper Huckleberry. You take care. Giving me guff.
I might be giving my CDL this month.
Oh yeah.
You might what?
I said I might be giving up my CDL this month. I really don't want to go back to it. I don't like the shenanigans, and I was thinking about it today. You know, all these companies that I worked for and how they were treating their drivers, and I think going back to it is just going back to slavery. I really didn't.
See, to me, it's a guaranteed job.
It's a guaranteed job, but I've got other trades that I can do. I don't need to do that.
That and God, even with the 40-foot flatbed trailer on the back of the pickup, hauling trusses or something, I have to have the DOT numbers now. So
I don't know. I'm just I just really don't like the way things go in this business. You probably haven't had the same experience as I have, so.
Possibly. Yeah, I haven't done a lot over the road, so
I know other drivers that are even more pissed off than me.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No, I mean they literally short you on your money. They literally around here they do.
Yeah. They short you on mileage and nail you on money.
And my state doesn't do anything about it. The employees in my state don't hardly have any rights. The employer has all the rights. So
yeah, and large scale trucking companies nail you.
So I've actually worked for some local companies around here that I wound up doing an hour and a half, and they always make me go into a log violation. And I've had companies here that make me work sometimes an hour and a half, an hour and 20 minutes on my own time without getting paid. That's slave labor. And the mileage pay, the hourly pay, it doesn't matter which pay I've had. I hear drivers say, "Oh, I'll make such and such." I say, "What was your last check? Show me." And usually their last check is like $800 for a week. $800 a week. And they're like, "Well, we pay higher than everybody else." I say, "You must not be doing too many miles, because the more the company pays the drivers, the less jobs they get for the drivers." So I found that out with JB Hunt, and it was a JB Hunt driver, by the way. He said, "You ought to come and work for us," and you'll be making 10 cents more per mile than what you're making where you're working. And I said, "Well, let me see your last check." And his last check, it was $800, and I showed him mine, and it was $1,200. So, I'm getting more miles, and I'm making more money because I'm getting more miles, because my company would put us in brand new trucks, and maybe we get paid a little less per mile, but there's other perks where I was making more money than he was. So this company, it's all this little game they play. And they promise you sign-on bonuses. Well, if they found a rock in your rear dual, they're going to say, "We're not giving you a sign-on bonus because you had a rock in your rear dual tire, and you should have known about that, or you should have been doing it more safe," or whatever. I had a friend backed over a fire hydrant because the guy was screaming at him, "Back up, come back, tell him to come back." He backed over a fire hydrant, and he got fired for it. And he lost his sign-on bonus and everything. So that's how they roll around here. I don't know about you, but it was the same that other company I worked for out of Omaha, Nebraska. Same thing. I don't think anybody wants to hear all these woes and everything about the trucking industry, but I'm done. I'm done. I'm pretty fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Every
Well,
time I think about it,
you're up. You're not dealing with it no more. And I have to. I'm gonna need to bring down the show. I got to go to bed.
Yeah, I got to crash.
He hasn't got his admin yet, or I'd let him have it over. So,
Take care, everyone.
Thank you for the show. This has been a great evening. Good conversation. Good friends. Thank you guys for hanging out. And Colonel Shaw, thank you for coming in. Huckleberry, Miriam, I know you're still back there. Zoom, God bless you. Everybody, thank you so much for participating tonight. And dream well, Patriot. And we will see you tomorrow night.